Okay, so I'm going to compare my old school in Singapore with ASB. So I started studying in American School of Bangkok 2 years ago, and then before that I used to study in Thai school for 9 years, and then moved to Singapore for 6 months before I came here. So in Singapore, the academic were very hard, much harder than Thailand. So if the student in Singapore didn't try their best in studies, everything will be more harder than they expect. And there were a lot of things that were different from here, and some were the same. So the first similarity is that uh, school that I used to study in Singapore were co-occasional, same as SB. And the second similarity is that the time that time that the school day ends. Yeah. And the third similarity is that the area around the school, like surrounded by the big mall and the small shop, same as SB. So after school, I used to hang out in those places after school in both countries. And so now I'm going to talk about the differences. So first one is that in Singapore, has a higher standard of education more than Thailand or USA. So there were a lot of competition to get into the university, stuff like that, in Singapore. You have to try your best or else you'll feel regret for what you have done. And the second difference is that there is there's a teacher. The teacher are from different places. Usually in Singapore, the teacher are Singaporean, but in ASB, teacher were from a different place around the world and left with only Thai teacher that teach Thai language and culture. And the last difference is that the daily schedule. For example, here in SB, we usually start school about 8 in the morning, but school in Singapore, we usually start school about 7:30. So even though there were a lot of differences between each school, but they must have their own way and their own rule of teaching. So for me, these two schools were giving me the best that they could offer in their own way. So thank you for listening.